Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at Donald Trump's media company, Trump Media and Technology Group, or TMTG,
That's right.
and specifically what's going on with their stock, DJT. They seem pretty worked up about it.
Yeah, they've raised some pretty serious concerns. We're going to unpack why they're being so vocal and, what exactly they're doing.
Okay.
The idea is to get a handle on this thing they're alleging, illegal naked short selling, why it's got them worried, and the steps they've actually taken.
Right, so let's start there. Naked short selling. What is that? Why is it such a big deal?
Okay, so naked short selling. In simple terms, it's when someone sells shares short without actually borrowing them first, or, crucially, making sure they can be borrowed.
Unlike normal short selling.
Exactly. Normally, you borrow shares, sell them high, hope the price drops, buy them back cheaper, return them, and, pocket the difference.
Makes sense.
Naked shorting skips that whole borrowing part, and it's illegal here in the U.S. The big worry is it can, artificially inflate the number of shares seemingly available for trading.
Ah, so it creates a kind of false supply.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that false supply can potentially push the stock price down unfairly.
Okay, so it's like you're flooding the market with phantom shares, almost.
That's a good way to put it. And that's really the heart of what Trump Media is alleging is happening to their stock, DJT.
So they're not just generally complaining, they're taking action.
Oh, yes. They've formally asked the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, to step in and investigate what they see as suspicious short-selling activity.
And it gets more specific than that, right? I heard they actually named names.
They did. They specifically called out a UK-based hedge fund, Quive Research and Technologies.
Quive Research, okay.
Reports suggest Quab holds a really large short position in DJT, something like $105 million.
Wow, that's substantial.
It is. And Trump Media's filings hint they suspect at least some of that activity might fall into this illegal naked category.
So beyond asking the SEC to investigate, what else is TMTG doing? Are they just waiting?
No, they seem quite proactive. They filed memos with the SEC, as we said, but they've also been urging other regulators like FNGR.
That's the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority.
Correct. They want FNGR to conduct immediate inquiries into how DJT stock is being traded. They're really banging the drum for more transparency and, efficiency on the exchanges.
Seems like they're really pushing the system. What about Trump himself? Is he out there talking about this?
Well, Donald Trump hasn't personally made a lot of big public statements, specifically on this naked short-selling issue, no.
Okay.
But, this is his company, Trump Media. The fact that they are taking these very formal, very public actions through regulatory channels, it definitely shows his interest and, the company's commitment to tackling this head-on.
And they haven't minced words about how they feel, have they? I remember reading some pretty strong language.
Oh, definitely. They use terms like a chaotic free-for-all.
Right. And didn't they call it a third world casino?
They did. Third world casino. And that's incredibly strong language. It really highlights just how intensely they feel about potential market manipulation affecting their stock.
That's quite the accusation.
It is. And, it's worth remembering that stocks like DJT, ones with high volatility or a lot of public focus, sometimes do attract aggressive short sellers. Those rapid price swings can create opportunities, both legitimate and potentially illegal ones.
So, boiling it down, the key thing is, Trump's company believes its stock is being illegally shorted, specifically naked shorted. And they're not just complaining, they're actively using regulatory channels to try and force an investigation.
That's the gist of it, yes. They've pointed fingers at a specific fund, QEB, and they're pushing the SEC and FINRA to look into it very closely.
Okay, let's recap quickly for everyone. Trump Media is deeply concerned about what it calls illegal naked short selling of its stock, DJT. They've even identified a specific hedge fund they're suspicious of.
Quab Research and Technologies, yes.
And they're formally urging regulators, the SEC and FINRA, to launch investigations using some really forceful language to describe the situation.
That covers it well. And it leaves you, the listener, with something interesting to think about, doesn't it?
Which is?
Well, just consider, if these allegations about illegal naked short selling prove to be true, what could that mean more broadly? For market rules, for how much trust investors have in the system. Definitely food for thought about the health of our financial markets.